most of us aren't dodging bullets from terrorists. A lot of the problems we have, for instance, forgiving someone, relate to people who aren't even around anymore. Like, for instance, parents. Most of us have wounds from our childhood, and a lot of people will say, well, I just can't forgive my father for what he did to me. Speak a bit about that, where a child, for instance, isn't conscious. They just, have a father, have a mother, and things get done to them. Years later, they're on the psychoanalyst's couch, reciting why they're a victim and still tormented by those memories.
Why are they creating themselves as a victim? Obviously, that's the experience whose time has come for them. Oh, that gets very challenging to understand.
It does.
Because it implies responsibility. All individuated forms of consciousness are here as individuated forms of consciousness to grow through experience, to evolve in wholeness, to move from the more fragmented, limited, illusory experience of life to the truthful, unlimited experience of life. So I may have to journey the experience of abuse so that I can understand it clearly, so that I can see how I create that experience for myself, how I'm a part of it. For example, they're the terrorists, right? And I could look at that and say, wait a minute, everything is a part of me because we're all the same life. So everything is a reflection of me. All my experience reflects me to me. So the terrorist is obviously calling my attention to the part of myself that is a terrorist.
Whoa, I'm not sure how many people are willing to look at that.
Nah, but then I have to ask that question. How am I a terrorist? How am I violent? How am I abusive? How am I threatening?
Self-reflection.
Self-reflection. It's all in front of me. Everything is a reflection of me. It's all mirrors. Now I can look at the mirror and say, it should be other than it is. But that's not true because it is the way it is.
Right.
So if I want what's in the mirror to change, I have to change the one looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
So I have to get self-referential here.
Yeah.
I have to look to myself and say, okay, what's the terrorist in me? And as far as I'm concerned, and I've said this in the media, and I've said it in the book, that everyone is a terrorist. We terrorize ourselves with our illusory thoughts and beliefs, our stories, our judgments about who we are and what life is. We terrorize ourselves with our unfocused and undirected minds, and we terrorize each other, projecting our stories on each other, projecting our judgments on each other. Only a small amount of us are violent.
Right.
But everybody...
In an overt sense.
In an overt sense.
But from what you're describing, there's a lot of inner violence going on.
Inner violence is always going on, and that goes back to the conflict that we are carrying. Stress or tension or abuse or negation arises out of conflict. We're not at peace. We're not in harmony. We're generating a disharmony. So where does that come from? I have to take it back to that conflict in myself, the conflicting illusion that says I'm separate and different from everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm an island unto myself. And as long as I maintain that, I can't have any harmony. I can't have any oneness. I can't have any communion with you.
Right.
I'm always separate and different. So the unaddressed conflict in the individual becomes the conflict unaddressed in the relationship, in the family, in the community, in the nation, in the world.
So for someone, if there was someone here who was interested in world peace, you would tell them to look in the mirror.
Exactly so.
Start there.
World peace begins with you.
Yeah. Let it begin with me. I mean,
Yeah.
one of those sayings that are mouthed, but we're not sure how much that's experienced.
It's great to get on your soapbox with the sign that says peace or go to the demonstration and everything, but I say to people like that, are you being the experience you choose to have? As Mahatma Gandhi said, we must be the change we wish to see. You have to be it. You have to embody it. You have to live it. So if you want peace in the world, show me right now how you express peace 24/7 in yourself. And
Right.
that's the peaceful contribution you make to your world. If one does it, it makes a difference. If a million, if a billion generated peace in themselves, resolved the conflict in themselves, found unity within themselves, well, all of that conflict would dissolve in the world.